Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is the 13th July and time is almost 2 p.m. when I am recording this video. Current status of the Nifty, I am just checking on the trading view. The current status of the Nifty is the 24,197, and if I am checking for the Nifty is up but the volume is decreasing. So it indicates that there are some handful stocks are there. With the help of those handful stocks, Nifty is ongoing. But there is no some overall market depth because the volume is decreasing. Okay, and apart from that I will just explain few other things with all of you. So just let me check on the trading view regarding the Japan 10 years bond yield. So if I'm checking on the Japan 10 years bond yield, JP10Y, let me check on it. So the JP10Y, Japan 10 years bond yield is 2.77. Okay, and if I'm checking of the US 10 years bond yield, let me check it, US 10Y. So US 10 years bond yield is 4.57. So the Japan 10 years bond yield is 2.77 and US 10 years bond yield is 4.57. So there is a gap, almost you can say 4.57 minus 4.57 minus 2.77, so approximately 1.80. Okay, so if it is decreasing, okay, so there is a chance of the high yen carry trade unwinding. Okay, most of the people are saying that due to the US Iran strike, all those things, there is some probability of the market crash, but as per my opinion, market knows all those things and it's a playbook which was previously played. So the game which was previously played, market will not crash for that same thing again, as per my personal opinion. Okay, but there is a chance of the carry and trade. So thing is that if I am going to explain you what's the yen carry trade, basically, let's say you are taking money from the Japan, let's say for 2% interest rate, and you are investing that money basically on US bond, and US bond gives you, let's say, 6% interest rate. So 2% interest rate, you are taking your money, and 6% interest rate for where you invest your money, so you are getting 6% interest. So 2% you are taking, 6% you are getting, so difference of that 4%, it basically your profit. Okay, so big investor, they are investing money in this way. So as soon as this gap will going to narrow down, there is no scope or there is no, the healthy environment between taking money from the Japan and invest in the US market, and lots of billion dollars, trillion dollars are invested in this way. So if this gap is going to narrow down, there will be a possibility of the yen carry unwinding trade. Okay, we have seen this type of situation in 2024 as well, when the Nasdaq almost corrected. I will say correction, I will not say it is crash. On that time Nasdaq almost corrected in the, I am talking about the index basis. Okay, almost corrected the 15 to 20% in this range. I am just telling you from my memory, I am not seeing any chart or anything else from the trading view or anywhere else, so that I can tell you the exact figure on that time, but I am just telling you from my memory. So there is a possibility of this gap which is now 1.80. If this gap is going to decrease, so there is a possibility of the yen carry unwinding trade, which will lead to some correction of the global market as well as the Indian market, because the India is also interconnected with the global market. So if there is any situation happens of the US market or the global market, and we have seen the couple of days, in the last couple of days, there is some corrections of the, the KOSPI as well as some other index as well, the London Stock Exchange, the FTSE, all those things. So but India is good, India is in good shape, I can say. Obviously India is, the previous high was 26,000, almost 300, almost 2,000 point down, so that's a different thing. But last couple of days we haven't seen such type of correction on Indian equity market. Okay, so but we should keep in mind regarding this yen carry trade. And if I am taking about the crude oil chart, let me check it on the crude. So if I am taking the crude oil also is increasing. Okay, so if the crude oil is going to increase, there is some pressure of the inflation. So in the later point of time, if the crude oil price is high, in the later point of time, if US Fed even try to decrease the lower rate, the interest, try to decrease the interest rate lower, they will not able to do that because of the high inflation. Okay, and few things are there like the 10 years bond yield or 30 years bond yield. Those parts are decided by the market. There is a no such, the strictly involvement of the US Fed. So all these things we should keep in mind. So this was about it, how I can analyze these things up to now. So the when I am just stop recording this video, Nifty is almost in the same region, 24,200. So let's see what will happen in the day end. Thank you.